This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on this hump day. And I have to ask you a question because I know the Mark Thompson show ended a little late. And then we had our little after meeting where I'm told that my microphone levels were really low today. So I'll ask you now, if you have trouble hearing me, let me know. If not, I'll speak up or I'll try to adjust something. Can you guys hear me okay? Or does it sound a little soft to you? Hi Heather, nice to see you. Nice to have you along for the ride. And yeah, Wes had a little issue last night. I'm glad everybody's okay there. That was a scary thing that you had posted. It's nice to be able to see everyone's personal business and what they're doing online. And so, it does bring concern when you start to care about people in the chat and you see something bad happen. So I'm glad to see that everything's okay there, Wes. Okay, good. So Nancy says I sound okay. And Eric says we can hear you fine. Wes says it's loud enough. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. It does start a little late, although I don't know if you've noticed, we've been trying to start a little closer to at least within the first 5 minutes. So you'll see 11:02, 11:03. So hopefully we're starting a little bit earlier. That's the effort anyway. But yeah, he often goes long, but that's okay. And I figure that everyone's still listening there. So it's just natural to start this when that's over to kind of migrate over this way. That's my thought. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. Okay. Thank you, Dan. I see your message. Thank you. Okay. So good. We've got the volume dealt with, and now let's get into the stories. I do want to thank everyone for clicking the like button, for clicking the subscribe button, for all of the incredible support that I've been shown. And again, we have Wes jumping in right off the bat with a $5 super sticker. It's like this daily thing. You've got trauma in your own life and you're still thinking of me and of the after party and of Mark. And wow, you're quite the fellow. Quite the fellow, sir. I really appreciate that very much. What I want to tell you is that, no, I don't want this. No. I was trying to see how many subscribers we have. We were up to 2,288 or 89. So really nearing that 2,300 mark. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you for that. And I also wanted to thank the folks that not only, like Wes, contribute to the After Party Live via the YouTube super chats and super stickers, but also via the PayPal link, which is found in the description of the show and also in the About tab. And I got a really nice message from Pamela, who gave me her monthly contribution of around $20. And she says, happy September monthly contribution. I haven't been listening in real time, but I try to catch up after hours. Been a crazy August, she says. And then I got a really nice message from Jane, who says, hello, Kim McAllister. I appreciate and admire your knowledge, your humor, your fearlessness. Wow, she thinks I'm fearless? That's pretty cool. She said, thank you for the after party and for all your hard work. I'm telling you guys, it goes on and on. These messages. Gretchen sending in a contribution. James, Laura sending in a contribution as well. I have one from Linda G, Joe F, Deborah S, Karen K, another one from Wes, who's contributing not only here on the Super Chat, but also to the PayPal. Donald S, Janet W, Ms. Organica, Harold H, Kathleen G, Lee S, Ricky R, Robin F, Jennifer L, Susan D, Heather K, William B, Vivian T, Gary D, Nancy V, James S, Susan S, Joyce M, Tony C, Lori F, who says this contribution is from Daniel D, in honor of one of the most dedicated anchors in all of News Talk Radio. Isn't that so nice? And that's Lori Above the Bar in San Francisco. So just warms my heart, and thank you so much. And Harry, thank you for the super sticker. Wes is always first because he's 3 hours ahead. It makes perfect sense. Thank you, Harry. It was great to see you at the meetup the other day. All right, so I'm very grateful. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to keep this show rolling and keep it moving. Speaking of keeping it moving, why don't we get to some stories already, right? I know, enough of me yammering on about all this stuff. Okay, here we go. The first story I have for you today is not necessarily a happy party story. It is a story, though, about people in the Amazon fighting back. And I thought this was fascinating because we've heard for a long time about how oil companies are clear cutting part of the Amazon forest, and the habitat is changing, and we're losing this valuable world resource. Well, 2 people were killed by arrows of an uncontacted tribe in the Peruvian Amazon. This territory is the Mashco Piro, and it's being threatened by deforestation. This is the second attack in a month. It happened to 2 loggers. They were killed in the Peruvian Amazon by this threatened uncontacted tribe, the tribe using bows and arrows. It happened near the Piramanu River in Madre de Dios province, August 29th. But now we're only getting confirmation of this news. It happened when women from the Mashco Piro tribe encountered a group of workers who were clearing the forest for road construction there. There was a conflict that unfolded. 2 loggers were killed by arrow impact. Another was wounded. 2 more workers are missing and unaccounted for. The group called Survival International, which is an indigenous rights organization, they're saying that this incident highlights the need for government to formally recognize and protect the entire territory of this Mashco Piro tribe. They say this was entirely avoidable. The Peruvian authorities have known for years this area they chose to sell off for logging was actually the Mashco Piro territory. By facilitating the logging and the destruction of this rainforest, they're not only endangering the very survival of the Mashco Piro people, who are incredibly vulnerable to epidemics of disease brought in by outsiders, they've knowingly put the lives of logging workers in danger as well. This tribe is a community of nomadic hunter-gatherers. They live in the rainforest of southeast Peru. They're likely one of the largest uncontacted tribes in the world. There are about 750 members of this tribe. They have a very good reason to be wary of other people coming in from the outside. In the late 19th century, according to the folks in the know here in the Amazon, they suffered at the hands of colonial rubber barons in the western Amazon. Thousands of them were enslaved. Countless others were hunted down. Bad things happened to them. And now they're facing this logging and deforestation. So I guess the question is to you, do you think they have a right to protect their homeland from people chopping down the trees? You don't want to defend murder, but then again, what are they supposed to do when their very livelihoods, their very life and their ways are threatened? No. 2 attacks within a matter of weeks of each other. And so now there are new calls for the government there to take action before more people are killed. So the government is being called on to cancel the logging concessions and to recognize this territory as Mashco Piro territory. I would agree with that. And I don't fault the Native American tribe. They're smart enough to see where this road is headed. That's my thinking. I'm going to the chat to see what you're thinking. What are you thinking? Heather says, they were first. They were there first. Leave them alone. Eric, yes, I'm rooting for the tribe. Right? B.A. Ware says, I'm pretty sure the tribe doesn't give an F about other cultures' laws. Do land steals at your own risk. I mean, if you think about what would have happened if Native Americans, had shot first and asked questions later, they didn't, it wasn't the starting of the fighting back until there were way too many of us here instead of them, and we were stealing their land and doing horrible things to them. I don't know. I mean, I think these people have it right. And a part of me feels bad for saying that because we're talking about the taking of a human life. But we're also talking about this tribe of 750 people who have survived for God knows how long, probably being wiped out as the land is cleared and their culture and their lives are threatened. Yeah. Doug says probably not a good idea to go to the Peruvian Amazon. Yeah, I think there's some areas where we just want to steer clear. Deidre says it blows my mind there are still isolated tribes. Good for them. Right. And this is why. Because they got smart a long time ago. Crazy. No. So that's what's going on in the Peruvian Amazon. Bows and arrows. Enter at your own risk. Yikes. Let's talk about smart dogs. We'll talk about smart dogs for a moment. There is a study that shows that talented dogs, so maybe not every dog, but smarties. We've all had some dogs, right, that are smart and some that maybe, like our dog, Charlotte, our golden retriever. I think she just plays dumb. I think she's really smart, but I think she just, she'll steal food off the counter. She knows better, but then she acts like she has no idea that what she's done is wrong. So maybe that's her talent, her hidden talent. There's a study, though, that shows smart dogs, certain talented dogs, can remember the names of toys for at least 2 years. Scientists are hoping that these particularly gifted dogs can help them understand more about how animals other than humans keep their memories like this. So previous research has shown that these dogs, known as gifted world learners, the GWLs of the dog world, have a unique ability to learn the names of hundreds of different objects. They have a new study published in the journal Biology Letters, suggesting that these dogs, these gifted world learners, can remember the names of some of these toys for an extended period. The head of the research group at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary said, "We know that dogs can remember events for at least 24 hours and odors for up to 1 year. But this is the first study showing some talented dogs can remember words for at least 2 years. The findings of the current study can't be generalized to other dogs because they only tested the gifted dogs, the GWLs, that showed a special talent for acquiring object words. They analyzed the behavior of 5 border collies, Gaia, Max, Whiskey, Squall, and Rico. And they had these dogs learn and remember the names of multiple toys. They tested them again 2 years later, and remarkably, 4 out of 5 dogs remembered the names of between 60 and 75% of the toys after 2 years. As a group, the dogs' performance averaged 44 correct choices, significantly above the level of chance. The research is part of this project they're doing called the Genius Dog Challenge. And they're urging dog owners who believe their dogs know multiple toy names, contact them. They're looking into the dog memory. Yeah. Very cute dog too. My dog can do that. If I say there's a bunch of dog toys here, if I say, go get your octopus, she'll go get the octopus. And then she'll also poop on the carpet in the living room and eat food off the counter. So gifted. Yeah, jury's still out on that. I don't think so. There are, I should say, a couple of bear stories. These are hungry bears right now. I'm telling you what. This bear has decided to go after some chips in a car that had a broken window and they had plastic taped over the window. It was no match for this bear. Check out this story.
Mother bear in Bartlett is enjoying a snack with her cubs after she jumped into a car to grab some chips, and we have the video to prove this. Just check this out. Jeffrey sent this video to our You Local page on Facebook. He says the car window was covered by tape, but that was not stopping that mama bear. She hung out in the car for a while before popping out to join her cubs. Can you even imagine coming out to the parking lot and see this family enjoying your car for some afternoon snacks?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm glad that they kept their distance and just sort of said, all right, they can have the snacks, you know?
Yeah, they can have the snacks. Absolutely, they can have the snacks. I'm not going near that. Then this one is a little bit scarier. This bear comes up on a little boy who's eating popcorn in his backyard. Pretty scary. This is in Colorado. This black bear got within inches of this little boy that was snacking down on popcorn. I'm telling you, hungry, hungry. Here's another story. Here we go.
Here tonight, a big Labor Day weekend surprise for a family in Aspen when a bear snuck up on a child.
Yeah, Fox 31's Rachel Sauer obtaining new video of exactly what happened. She joins us in studio with a closer look. Rachel.
Yeah, Erica. Well, they were spending the weekend with family in Aspen, and they have seen wildlife on the property at night, and they've even caught some bears on video before, but never in the afternoon like this. Now, take a look at this video here. It was on Saturday when this young man, Evan Schmagler, was enjoying some kettle corn he and his family had just gotten from the Aspen Farmers Market. Then all of a sudden, you can see on your screen just up right there, this huge black bear came up behind him, sniffing the air, smelling that kettle corn, getting within almost a foot of the boy's head. Just look at that. His parents say he had no idea it was there until his uncle came out and chased the bear off.
I was like frozen for like a couple seconds. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, Rob and his brother kind of jumped into action sooner than I did, and they knew just to make some loud noise, and then that would scare the bear.
Yeah, thankfully, no one was hurt in this incident. And late last month, Colorado Parks and Wildlife told us we're coming up on what is known as Fat Bear Fall. So more bears are going to be out and about looking for food this time of year. Back to you guys.
Gotta watch it. Fat Bear Fall. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that kid had no idea. Wow. Telling you, when the bears are hungry, you just gotta let it go. This is a fascinating story as well. They have discovered a bat with feet that glow. Glowing bat feet. Where else could you hear about glowing bat feet than the After Party Live? This is a Mexican bat, and this bat was found to have photoluminescent feet. There's a team of zoologists and ecologists with the Instituto de Ecología and Soluciones Ambientales. I could say it, but I don't know what it means. These places are in Mexico. The University of Texas at Austin also involved in this study. And they found that certain species of bats living in Mexico have these photoluminescent bristles on their feet. They published this study on these photoluminescent bat feeties in the journal Mammalian Biology. They describe how they accidentally discovered the unique feature in these bats, and they're thinking they might know, or at least think they know, the reason for the evolution of these photoluminescent feet. They found this 3 years ago when 2 members of the research group were trying to catch bats from a roost near Mexico City, and they were using long strands of fine filament as nets to catch several bats at the time. All of those they caught were carried to a place a little bit north where they were released into another roost. The aim, find out if these bats from these 2 roosts move back and forth between them. And the researchers dusted the specimens they caught with a powder that could be easily seen using a UV light. Well, that failed, but the researchers did take note they found something else. The feet of the bats were lighting up under this UV lamp, and it wasn't because of the dust that they tried to apply. Prior research has shown the feet of Mexican free-tailed bats are unique. They have these spoon-shaped bristles that are along the outer edges of their toes. Kind of makes them look like a Dr. Seuss character. No one has been able to figure out why they have this. But now it appears those spoon-shaped bristles are also unique because they reflect a blue-green hue under UV light. Researchers tested then and found the same phenomenon in 25 other specimens from both roosts. They also found it on a museum specimen. They suspect these bats can see the glow, but only at dusk or dawn or when basking in the moonlight. So now they want to do some experiments to find out if these bats are using their feet as a way to communicate at night when they're bunched up in colonies that have as many as 1 million bats. Glowing bat feet. I'm telling you, the world is cool. Well, from bats to a little bit batty, you could say. Forget Match.com and whatever online dating program you use. How about supermarket hookups? Ah, yes. Meeting in person, the good old-fashioned way. There is a Spanish supermarket where shoppers are now using pineapples now to look for love. So here's what you do. You go to the Mercadona, which is a chain of stores, and you have to go between 7 and 8 p.m. if you're in Spain. You take a pineapple and you put it upside down in your cart, your grocery cart. And that means I'm single and I'm looking for love. So if you're at the Mercadona in the city of Bilbao in northern Spain, then you know. Ah, I see. Someone is looking to meet someone, right? The police were called in Spain when a flash mob of singles looking for love packed a Mercadona store and overwhelmed it. So many people are going to the store looking for love. I mean, the pineapple section sold out. The crowd quickly dispersed when officers arrived. No one was arrested here. But apparently people that are single are being drawn into these branches of the Mercadona where they think they can find romance if they visit between 7 and 8 p.m. and put that pineapple upside down. People are carrying pineapples around the store. If they like someone, they bump their trolleys against each other, their carts, indicating they're interested in chatting and getting to know someone a little bit better. They're also encouraged, the singles roaming the aisles, to go to the wine aisle to find others with the same fruit in that position, the upside down position. So if you have the upside down pineapple in your cart and you bump someone else's cart, if the feeling is mutual, they'll bump your cart back or they'll just start talking to you. I'm telling you, people are posting videos of this online. Of their experiences in the Mercadona. If someone spots chocolates or sweets in your cart, it means the other person is looking for a long-term relationship or something more serious. But if you have legumes or lettuce, it means you're looking for something a little more casual. I mean, this is like this whole language of what's in your grocery cart. God forbid, you're walking along and you're trying to buy some chocolate and pineapples. The pineapple on the shelf of Mercadona is waiting for you to get a date. So the Mercadona posted that on TikTok. It looks like they are getting behind this craze, which has gained so much traction that pineapples are now scarce in some of their stores. There are other grocery store chains now trying to get in on this dating craze, trying to encourage customers to do the same thing in their stores, but they'd like it to be done with watermelons rather than pineapples. So it would be hard, really, to turn a watermelon in any upside down fashion because it looks the same from every angle, right? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Good luck with that. I don't think so. But you know what? People are finding inventive ways to look for love, right? I think that's cute. Eric says, how do you hold a watermelon upside down? Yeah, I don't think the other chain is going to be successful in their endeavor. Ms. Organic says, what would the pink pineapple upside down mean? I don't know. Maybe, because I'm thinking of a pink triangle. Maybe it's a lesbian relationship? But I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm not sure. Eric says, I mean, it's a good signal, but adding all those rules just make things too much trouble. It's true. You got the chocolate, you got the lettuce, you got the beans. Crazy. Viewfinder says it seems like a waste of fruit to me. Cranky Charcoal, hello, says, can't they come up with a cheaper fruit? Pineapples are very expensive in the UK. Oh no. Walter no longer has a desire to date anyone, so you'll have to be very careful at the store. Yeah, watch out for the pineapple section and the wine section, apparently, as well. Josh says pineapple, cucumber, and a tub of lard. Oh my. What? That's a fancy evening right there. I don't know. All right. How about this? They're bowling and bowling and bowling for a million years and setting a bowling world record. This happened in Kentucky. This bowling team has broken a world record. They got 2,032 strikes in just 24 hours. They set this new Guinness World Record. Louisville residents Steve Wiseman, Tracy Wiseman, Kyle Reed, and Eric Howard completed their 24-hour bowling marathon on Monday at Lane 1 at Kingpin in Jeffersontown. They were trying to take this Guinness World Record title for the most strikes in a 24-hour period in 10-pin bowling with 4 people, which is, I guess, this new category. It requires a minimum of 1,200 strikes to inaugurate the record. They reached this Guinness World Record goal in about 14 hours, and then they kept going for the rest of the 24 hours, seeing how far they could get. Again, 2,032 strikes. They've got video, they've got pictures, they've got other evidence all being submitted to the Guinness World Record organization for a verification of this bowling strike record. The Wiseman brothers, who participated in this, already hold the world record for the most pins knocked down in 24 hours by a team of 2, and they hold the same record for a team of 4, and now the most strikes in 24 hours as well. Don't mess with the Wisemans. They are the bowling champions. You know, we go in and out of drought, especially here in California, right? Well, this isn't always nice. It turns out that our California drought cycles might increase the risk of airborne fungus. Yay! Scientists are warning that this dangerous fungal infection could be exacerbated by climate change. It's called the coccidioides fungus. It lives in the soil where it can be picked up by rodents and then transmitted to people who then breathe in the airborne spores. Not transmitted between people, just by sucking up the air with those spores in it. It triggers a disease called valley fever, which you may have heard of. And valley fever rates are rising pretty sharply in the western United States. It can include flu-like symptoms. In some cases, it can be fatal, not always. Reporting in the October issue of the Lancet Regional Health Americas, this team from UC San Diego tracked all the cases of valley fever from 2000 to 2021, so 21 years of it, right? And they found that there were some unexpected changes where cases were occurring. So the number of cases rose sharply in recent years, tripling between 2014 and 2018, and then again from 2018 to 2022. The most seasonal infectious diseases show a peak in cases every year, so they say they were surprised to see that there were certain years during which few or no counties had a seasonal peak in valley fever, and then others that valley fever just went crazy. And it made them wonder what was driving the differences in seasonality between those years. And they thought, well, maybe it's the drought. And they say, yeah, there was a seasonal peak in valley fever cases from about September to November, but it changed based on particular counties or years. San Joaquin Valley and the Central Coast regions of California have the sharpest seasonal peaks. They say knowing when the valley fever season starts and how intense it will be can help health practitioners know when they should be on high alert for new cases. This according to one of the authors of the study out of the UC Berkeley School of Public Health, Justin Ramez. He says this is the first study to pin down exactly when disease risk is highest in all of California's endemic counties, as well as places where the disease is newly emerging. So what we know is they just had a rash of cases of valley fever. So this is something we're going to have to start paying attention to. You ready for the lotto of the day? Here it is. Mr. Predicto strikes again. The North Carolina lottery predicted, this man in North Carolina, I should say, predicted a lottery win. He predicted it. He announced his intention to win that evening's Cash 5 lottery, and then he made good on his jackpot prediction. He was feeling very confident about his chances, Cameron Vick was, when he bought a $1 ticket for the August 20th Cash 5 drawing on the lottery's website. He said it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I really just decided to play out of the blue. This man, Mr. Vick, has been a UPS driver for 37 years, and he told the folks along his route about his confidence. He said, I'm going to win this one. Told people all along the route, I'm playing the lottery today and I'm going to win it. That night, he sure won it. $160,756 jackpot. He started crying and hugging his friends. He said his winnings are going to go toward making home repairs. Can you imagine? I mean, I guess it's like that, the thinking that you can will something into existence by thinking it, by having a positive attitude about it. If you think it can't happen, it won't. If you think it can happen, it will. Well, this is the strategy he used with the lottery, and it paid off. So those of us that have had babies know that the first couple of days before your breast milk really comes in, if you're a man, this is not a booby story, so don't worry. But the first couple of days, what comes out is called liquid gold, and it's something called colostrum. And it's this substance that is supposed to be really, really imperative and good for your baby. Helps it, your infant, to stave off, sickness and disease. And your colostrum, is what I'm told, is matched to your baby. So whatever your baby needs, that's what your body's making. So you make the colostrum, which is kind of it's a milky substance, but it's not thicker like milk. It's kind of more of a clear substance in a way, but it's still liquid. And then in a couple days, your milk comes in. Anyway, so that's human colostrum. Well, this liquid gold that we know about from humans is also made by other animals like cows. And apparently it's now the big thing for humans to take cow colostrum. Yeah. I don't know about this, but researchers say from UC Davis, this is packed full of nutrients, but also molecules that aren't necessarily nutrients, like biologically active compounds that are actually protective. The nutrients in the compounds include immunoglobulins, or antibodies, white blood cells, vitamin A, magnesium, copper, zinc, growth factors, a variety of other components essential for jump-starting life, including the strength and structure of the immune system and of the gut. So, here's the question. Does cow colostrum operate the same way as human colostrum? And would taking cow colostrum then make us healthier in some way? The colostrum protects an infant during a vulnerable stage. We know that. But now we're seeing, according to another researcher and dietitian, a huge rise in colostrum supplements for consumption in adults, with some pretty interesting health claims that may or may not be true. These colostrum supplements, often derived from cows, are popular because of their potential to boost immunity, to improve gut health, to enhance athletic performance. They're collected from dairy cows within the first several days after they've given birth. Then they're processed and they're pasteurized to be safe for human consumption. And then the bovine colostrum is put into forms like powders, pills, liquid. There's even an enema. You could have a cow colostrum enema. That's a fine Friday night right there. They say it's a delicate process because it involves preserving the bioactive compounds while ensuring the product is safe for consumption. And there's these influencers on the TikTok and the YouTube saying this involves preserving bioactive compounds while ensuring the product is safe for consumption. And so celebrities have also been touting this colostrum as a health tool. They sometimes put it into expensive smoothies. I mean, people are into it. One of the main reasons people are turning to the colostrum for health benefits is to get rid of gut inflammation that makes their physiology resemble maybe that of a colicky infant. They say the inflammation can be due to ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, chronic infections, chronic diarrhea, HIV, the effects of chemotherapy or radiation, and that there is possibly some preliminary evidence that colostrum can support immunity and gut health, especially in people that have compromised immune systems or intestinal issues. And some small studies have found colostrum could boost the growth of intestinal cells and strengthen the walls of your gut. There were suggestions that there were benefits to respiratory tract infections as well. That there was a study done there. I don't know, it doesn't look like, well, they said they did a 12-week study. 35 adult distance runners were found taking a colostrum supplement daily, and that it increased the amount of certain antibodies in their saliva by almost 80%. And they thought that maybe that could strengthen their ability to fight off infections. I don't know. No conclusive evidence as to whether cow colostrum actually helps you or not. But they say if you're considering it, you should start following the manufacturer's instructions, crucially, especially if you have a gastrointestinal condition. And there are some still risks with for people that have dairy allergies. So you have to be careful with that as well. And the large dosages of it could lead to digestive upset as well. And they're also very expensive, with the possibility that you might not see any health improvement. Cow colostrum. I mean, I guess if you have a huge health problem, you'll try anything. I will say the thought of it grosses me out a little bit. I don't know why, because it's no grosser than drinking milk, right? It's the cow's milk is the same kind of situation. I don't know. And we talk for a moment about this NOAA computer. We have changes now in the technology allowing us to get more accurate, in-depth weather forecasts. There's a new $100 million computer that will now apply artificial intelligence to boost NOAA's weather forecasting capabilities, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. This high-performance computer system, $100 million, can we really afford that? I don't know. They say it will advance research and development efforts by NOAA on a number of scientific and weather-related tasks. This computer, called RIA, will advance NOAA research on weather, climate, and ocean ecosystem prediction at its new modular facility in Fairmont, West Virginia. That's where they house their environmental security computing center. So there. The computer, RIA, was named for the Greek goddess and mother of gods. Its high-performance system, they say, adds needed computing capacity to be able to expand critical research that supports the nation's climate resilience. So, we get a new computer, $100 million. They think it will improve weather, ocean and climate forecasting, ecosystem modeling, and the use of satellite Earth observations to understand climate changes. This is part of President Biden's new $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act. The funding for RIA was awarded to the General Dynamics Information Technology that delivers a wide range of services to government agencies. This new computing capacity will be used for weather and climate model development to improve drought, flood, wildfire prediction, and forecasting. It will add 8 petaflops of computing speed, first time I've ever even seen that word in print, 8 petaflops of computing speed and capacity to NOAA's existing capacity of 35 petaflops, bumping the total to 43 petaflops. What's a petaflop, you ask? Well, thank you for the question. Petaflop is a 1,000 trillion or 1 quadrillion operations per second. 1,000 trillion, also called 1 quadrillion operations per second, and it represents an extremely fast computing speed for a single machine. Petaflop, that's our word of the day. 1,000 trillion or a quadrillion. See if I can remember that. There is a change when it comes to the substances of choice that people are using. Adult use of cannabis and hallucinogens remains at historically high levels. The number of adults in America using cannabis and hallucinogens remains at these historical high levels in 2023, while alcohol use and binge drinking among younger adults continues to drop. I think maybe that's a good thing. If you're going to do something, maybe booze isn't it. I mean, I like a nice glass of wine, but if you're going to have binge things happening, maybe, little hallucinogen is less violent? I don't know. They released these figures Thursday of last week from the Monitoring the Future survey by the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research and the U.S. National Institute of Health. And it showed that adults in 2 age cohorts, 19 to 30 and 35 to 50, are continuing their trend of consuming more and more cannabis and hallucinogens like LSD or psilocybin mushrooms. Both groups also reported historically low levels of the past year of tobacco cigarettes. Yay, that's good, right? The two groups, though, diverged a bit on alcohol. Among the 19 to 30 age group, binge drinking continued a long-term reduction trend, dropping to all-time lows. But my people, age 35 to 50, say the prevalence of binge drinking in 2023 increased from 5 and 10 years ago. So the older folks drinking a little more than the younger folks these days. And Dr. Nora Volkow, she's the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, said they've seen people at different ages of adulthood trending toward the use of drugs like cannabis and psychedelics and away from tobacco cigarettes. And she said the findings underscore the urgent need for rigorous research on the potential risks and benefits of cannabis and hallucinogens, especially as these new products continue to emerge. So the thinking is more people are using them, but we don't really know enough about them or long-term effects because the studies haven't been done. Not that they haven't been used for a long time, but the studies haven't really been conclusive. So one of the things that was interesting about this study, that among folks in the younger age group, female respondents reported a higher prevalence of past year cannabis use than male respondents. And that's the first time that's happened, where younger women were like, no, I'm doing that too. It's a reversal of the previous gap between the sexes. In the 35 to 50 group, male respondents maintained their decade-long higher prevalence of past year cannabis use over women. Overall, cannabis use among adults 19 to 30 reached approximately 42% in the past year, 29% in the past month, and 10% use it daily. Among adults 35 to 50, the reports of use reached 29% in the past month, 29% in the past year, 19% in the past month, and 8% daily. So, alcohol remained the most used substance reported among adults in the study, but the younger adults reported all-time lows in their levels of past month drinking, 65%, daily drinking, 4%, binge drinking, 27%, with past month drinking and binge drinking decreasing slightly from 2022. And again, the younger cohort drank less than their older counterparts. So, there you go. What we are consuming to make ourselves feel better in the world is changing. Can we talk about this northern elephant seal for a moment? Because I don't have time for a lot more stories, but I really wanted to get to this one. Look at that little face up top. How cute is that? The northern elephant seal knows a dinner bell when it hears one. There were 8 submale seals on camera 2,000 feet deep near this underwater lab that was using bait fish. They were studying how light affects bait fish in the Berkeley Canyon off the coast of the Pacific coast of British Columbia, Canada. So an international team of scientists working on this were pretty surprised when they found several young male northern elephant seals caught on camera. There were about 8 of them. They were also detected by hydrophones in this area, and they were using the underwater lab as a place to forage for fish. Hey, you bring the bait fish, it's like you're inviting them to dinner. Well, they turned the tables, though, on the seals. They say the chance encounter gave them a glimpse into the seals' deep sea behaviors, sophisticated feeding strategies, preferred prey, and their resting habits as well. And they wrote a paper on it. It's published in the journal PLOS ONE, September 4th. The scientists at one time believed the northern elephant seals were extinct because of commercial sealing in the 1800s. Now they're considered a species of least concern because of a large growing population and growing range of them as well. It's the largest of the true seals in the northern hemisphere. Every year, these seals migrate from their molting and breeding sites in California and Mexico to their feeding grounds in the North Pacific Ocean. Their long-distance migrations and deep diving behavior have been tracked with adult female northern elephant seals because they have higher survival rates and they return to the same sites more often, so they're easily more handled as well when they're placing satellite trackers on their bodies. Less data available with the males, and that's who we saw down there at the underwater lab eating all the bait fish. Even less known about the subadult males who have passed through their juvenile stage, but they're not yet fully developed into adults. So these, at least 8 of them, subadult males, ages 4 to 7, were seen on camera at the Ocean Network Canada subsea cabled observatory called Neptune. It's more than 2,000 feet deep. It's equipped with a high-def camera, acoustic imaging, sonar, hydrophone, a pair of LED lights, automatic bait release. The seals, on the video, were taking short naps when visiting the site. The camera footage provided insights into their prey selection, showing sablefish as their preferred meal. Several seals were recorded on both camera and hydrophone, bobbing their heads and producing low-frequency sounds while chasing their prey. 4 of them made repeated visits to the site over 10 days. 1 of them stayed for a whole month. That was quite unexpected for these researchers. They say their repeated presence suggests the mammals were not only attracted to the site, but could precisely locate a small area in the open ocean, shrouded in complete darkness, and do it multiple times. It's suspected these seals have learned to associate the noise produced by the sonar with the presence of food. They call it the dinner bell effect. So there he is, caught on camera. Nothing, just here for my dinner. Here, I have an 8 o'clock reservation. Thompson, party of 4. I think I have time for one more story. Can we squeeze one in? What do you think? This is a story about tiny, tiny triceratops. It's pretty cute. This tiny triceratops, though adorable it may be, has been named after gnomes. It's called the Sasse magnimus. It measured barely 3 feet long. The beaked family of herbivorous dinosaurs, ceratopsians, most famous for the Triceratops, included other relatives throughout the late Jurassic to the late Cretaceous periods. But recently, a set of bone fragments revealed this new, smaller, primitive ceratopsian species the most easternmost of its kind ever found in Asia. Given initial dating estimates, this dinosaur may also reinforce theories of how these unique animals migrated to modern-day North America about 110 million years ago. Sasse magnimus segusi is described in a September 2nd study published by an international research team in the journal Papers in Paleontology. They think this little creature helped form a distinct Neoceratopsian clade, a group composed of a single ancestor and all its lineal descendants, along with North America's and China's. I think the names are really hard. North America's Aquilops americanus and China's Aurora ceratops rugosus. I don't know if we needed to know that. But the new information gave researchers this argument that they needed to revise evolutionary timelines for the ceratops group. So, but there he is. He's very cute. Little teeny tiny. He's adorable. 3 feet long. I still wouldn't want to run into him, I don't think, in a dark alley. All right. Not that they had dark alleys. That brings us to the end of the After Party Live, and I thank you for being here. Please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button as well. And huge thank you to Wes for the super sticker, to Harry for the super sticker, and to everyone who contributes via PayPal, which the link is found at the bottom of the show description. So thank you very much. We will be back tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show. It's David Katz Day, so we'll talk about all things legal. And then here on the After Party Live, Trivia Thursday, my friend, because we had Monday off. It seems like it's come even faster this week. So we'll talk about some interesting topics again tomorrow on the After Party Live, and I really do hope to see you here right back on the YouTube. Until then, go out and make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
No. Words to live by, Mindy.